Had a sudden realization the other day. In about 4 years, we will have our first teen driver in the Chambers household. That momentous occasion will be followed by at least 14 consecutive years of teen drivers living under my roof. I did the math. And despite gains made in vehicle safety and education, car crashes are still the leading cause of death for teenagers from age 15 to 19. So, what can we do to better protect and educate our young drivers? Andy Crouppen, who will have a teen driver a couple of years after I do, from the law firm Brown & Crouppen, joins us with some suggestions this morning. How are you?
I'm
Good to
great.
see you. Here's one to wrap your brain around. What is the most important safety feature in every vehicle out there?
What is the seatbelt?
You're correct, for $200. I don't think people think about that. Regardless of all the technological innovations we've come up with in the last decade and a half, seatbelts still save
Right.
lives.
No, they try to build a better mousetrap,
Yeah.
but the reality is the original safety feature, the seatbelt, there's nothing more important you can do. And unfortunately, teens, especially in Missouri, don't do it as frequently as they should. The national average of seatbelt usage is like 90%. Mm-hmm. In Missouri, teenagers from driving age to 20 are roughly 74%. Now, when you look at the deaths, the leading cause of death of teenagers is car accidents.
Right.
And in those deaths, like 70% of them were not wearing a seatbelt.
That's crazy. And if you
Really
get ejected in an accident, your odds of survival go way, way down.
Which should be common sense.
Of course, yeah. That's why we created the seatbelt in the first place. Let's talk about alcohol for a second, too. You can tell your teen over and over and over again not to drink and drive. Doesn't mean necessarily that they're going to make it through their teen years without doing it.
Right.
So what is a parent left to do?
Well, I mean, you hear this all the time, but talk to your kids. You want to make sure that they're comfortable with you, there's trust back and forth, and make sure they have a ride-sharing app installed on their phone, so maybe you don't even have to know if they had to get another ride home, or just make sure they feel comfortable knowing that if they're ever in a bad situation, they can call you, you can pick them up, no questions asked. You're not going to harass them the next day, so they feel uncomfortable doing it the next time. These things are really important. The relationship you have with your kid may save their life.
I don't think you can tell them that enough. I mean,
Right.
You've got to tell them until they really believe that it's true. Speed. How do we talk to our young drivers about speed?
Well, I mean, the faster you're going, the more force there is, the more violent the collision can be. So slow down. Make sure you observe the speed limits. I think as a teenager you feel invincible and you're just getting this new responsibility, and I know that people like to drive fast, but once again, it's talking to them, making sure they understand the dangers of what they're doing, because that's one thing that teenagers don't always appreciate is the danger they're putting themselves in.
As adults, we often hear about the dangers of distracted driving. When we're talking about us, we're usually talking about an electronic device. The reality for teens is that's not their top distraction behind the wheel. What is?
Well, it's much worse. And I remember when I was in high school, you pile 1 million kids into the car and they're jumping around and wrestling. No, it's other people in the car. And so for the first 6 months of your driver's license, you can only have one person in the car who is under 19 who is not related to you.
Right.
After 6 months, for the duration of your teen years, you can't have more than 3 people who are under 19 in the car who aren't related to you. I mean, it's still a lot, but you can't have, we had a big conversion van when I was a kid, and there must have been 11 people in the back, and it was distracting.
Yep. Speaking of when we were kids and watching our parents drive, a final note, you've got to model good behavior, right? If you're doing something behind the wheel and your kid's seeing you do it every day, they're probably going to do it.
You can't say don't text and drive as you're texting and driving and expect them not to do the same.
Yep. No brainer, but it bears saying out loud. Andy, thank you very much.
Yeah,
Great
thank you.
topic here. If you would like to get in touch with Brown & Crouppen, you can give them a call anytime, 314-222-2222, or visit their website. That would be getbc.com.